Welcome back. Well, the management of Lupin is with us. Of course, Vinita Gupta, Nilesh Gupta, as well as Ramesh Swaminathan to talk to us about their earnings. Vinita, hi. Let me start by asking you, the growth rate in US seems to have fallen below the mark of 6%. Last quarters, we have seen the growth rate to be double digit. What's the way forward and what's causing the pressure?
No, so we have a good base, starting this fiscal year. And the inline products, including the respiratory portfolio, have been very strong. But we've had some competitive pressures on products like Suprep and doxycycline. We had a good exclusivity on Suprep and doxycycline that we launched in Q1. We've had additional competition in Q2. And most of it was offset by the inline product growth, as well as the launch of Mirabegron 50 milligram. So I'd say it's been, a solid quarter for the US with both inline products and new product launches. Of course, the pressure being additional competition on a couple of products. But more importantly, the profitability of the US business has continued to grow quarter after quarter.
Hi, Vinita. Good afternoon. This is Cheryl also joining in the conversation. If you could, I just wanted to understand, was Mirabegron not fully booked in this quarter? And if you could help us understand how much was generic Spiriva sales in the quarter gone by?
Mirabegron that we launched in Q1, the 25 milligram, there was, of course, more of a phasing because of the inventory load in Q1. So it was lighter in Q2. And then we launched, the 50 milligram in Q2. So you'll see the impact of both the strengths in the second half, Q3 and Q4. You'll see the full impact of Mirabegron. And Spiriva was fairly stable. While the market overall on Spiriva has been shifting towards the Respimat, the brand has been moving the market towards Respimat, our share has been fairly stable.
Yeah, Vinita, you're saying that the share in that one has been fairly stable, but overall, if you can talk to me a bit more about the market share movements, because if I look at Albuterol there, the market share has reduced to sub 22% versus 22.3 sequentially. What led to that?
So our market share has been fairly stable on Albuterol. When you look at it on a quarterly basis, there may be some phasing here or there, but we've seen our share fairly stable on the product. We expect to see some impact of Amphastar that has just entered very recently. But so far, our market share still has been very stable.
Hi, Nilesh, coming to you then. If you could help us understand about the India business, if you could outline to us how the overall growth was in the India business for Lupin.
I think India business has been strong. As you know, we've always talked about our aspiration to grow 1.3 times the market growth rate. So we're well above that at this point of time. For the quarter, we grew at 10.9%. The market grew at 8%. For the year to date, we've grown at 10.8%. The market's grown at 8.4%. Importantly, our big three therapy areas are doing well. Cardiac is growing at close to 20%. Diabetes, which was struggling for the last couple of years because of exclusivities that we lost on some in-licensed products, has bounced back close to 10%. Actually 18.8% growth for the quarter. And a little over 10% for the year to date.
Ramesh, let me get you also in the conversation and word on the margin picture, because you have delivered a good set, and if I look at it, your performance has been at the upper range of that EBITDA margin guidance of 23 to 24%. Time now to maybe upgrade that guidance?
There's been a lot of focus on bringing newer products into the market, sustaining, of course, the existing pipeline in terms of respiratory portfolio and the like. And, of course, a tight rein on cost across the entire P&L. The alternate vendor development in terms of routes to synthesis, productivity of labor across the sales force, R&D, offer matter manufacturing. All of this has paid rich dividends. And clearly, we are guided for an increase over time. We think the core margin should be upward of 23-24%, and that's what we're trying to aim to. In terms of the current year, whilst we are guided for upward of 21%, I think we would end up between 22 and 23% for the full year.
Right. Nilesh, coming back to you then once again, I just wanted to understand what sort of a product launch pipeline do you have right now? And also if you could help us, apart from that, are you looking to also launch biosimilars?
I think on biosimilars, we've been cautious in our approach. We have 6 products at various stages of development. Obviously, we have etanercept in the market, and we have 5 PEG-CSF. We have 2 of the ophthalmic products which are in development, ranibizumab, for which we have completed the clinical trial, which will get filed before the end of this fiscal, and aflibercept, which will get filed next year. In addition to that, I think the pipeline is primarily refocused now on products that we would launch in the first wave, especially for India, and then for select other markets as well. So I think we're still in the process of completing that repurposing, but I think it will be an exciting time for India because we would look for several new innovative biosimilars coming from Lupin.
Okay. Vineet, just wanted to get a sense from you that the Paraco litigation regarding toloptan has gone your way. Then when should we expect the generic version to be out?
Yes, I think we have spoken about tolvaptan in the past. We expect to launch it in the first quarter of next fiscal.
All right. Nilesh, coming back to you, recently the company received about 5 observations coming in from US FDA. This is for the biotech facility located in Pune. If you could tell something more about it, what's been the progress on that particular front? Has the company responded to US FDA?
Sure. We have responded to the observations. We were not happy with the fact that we had 5, but that was obviously a very substantial decline from the number of observations that we had for that facility before. We have responded to the observations, and we're optimistic that we should be able to address the concerns of the agency.
Okay, on that note, we'll let you go. Thanks so much, Vineeta, Nilesh, as well as Mr. Ramesh, for making time and speaking with us today. So that's the management of Lupin. The stock doing, I think, okay in the trading session. Was a decent set that we saw, holding on to just mild gains at this point of time. Time for a quick break. Don't